All right, folks, we're coming to the home stretch of our day. I really hope that you're sincerely, listening and appreciating some of these conversations. Just it's nice to have real people with real dialogue, unscripted. I didn't plan for this. I'll be honest. I did not put a PowerPoint together. I didn't plan all this stuff. I didn't give these guys a script. I said, let's just rep. Let's just talk. Let's just connect for 20 minutes and see and just share your story, share your life with people. And I'm honored to be a part of a group where the membership values each other. Instead of listen, as an educator, as a mentor, the tendency is to just, sell as many people into stuff as you possibly can. But our core value at Counsel is results. That is our main core value. Results, transparency, community, and impact. And our primary one for Counsel is results. And I believe that unless you're going to have a quantifiable ROI, like Cali, a 10x return in basically under 2 years, which is phenomenal. Unless you're going to have a quantifiable ROI, you shouldn't do mentorship. Mentorship isn't some guruism where somebody spews their thoughts at you all day and you sit back and absorb it and then you worship some person for what they know. That's stupid. What you need is tangible accountability. Think of this more like, a personal trainer. Hey, here's your meal plan. Hey, here's your fitness plan. Hey, here's a group of other people getting personal training. Hey, I'm going to talk to you on a recurring basis. You're going to join the group classes and get your ass to work in a polite, constructive, professional way. Now, you might look and go, I don't know, this humble guy seems a little much. You might go, this humble guy is a little bit too aggressive, too abrasive. I don't know if I like your style, humble. You're not that Canadian. You're not that polite. You're not that politically correct. You're not a person who's making me feel all the good feels. Well, friends, I love you, but grow up. I think that there's a level here where we need to grow up. And if we want something, we need to have real conversations about what it's going to take. We need to have real dialogue in a mature environment where you can entrust your thoughts and your challenges and your struggles to another human being who understands the journey you're trying to make and can give you the level of counsel. The reason this is called counsel and not advice is because counsel comes from a place of experience and advice is free. You can't validate or verify advice. There's no credibility to advice. This is why I refrain from giving out advice. I want to give people counsel. Let me counsel with you. And if you join our community, you join our group, you have myself and a host of amazing people here to help you grow. So if you're ready to just have a dialogue with us and get to see what the next level looks like, I highly encourage you. You see the scrolling at the bottom. I'm going to hit you with the call to action. Here's the scam. The scam is a free conversation with somebody on our team. Click a picture of the QR code below. And in the next hour, I expect you guys to click that, join us, and have a complete privately dialogue with people that care about you, that'll listen to you. They're not going to judge you. They're going to listen to what you want to do in real estate and try to offer some guidance, offer some counsel and wisdom. And if mentorship is the right thing for you, then we're more than happy to go in that direction together. And if it's not, we'll give you some other resources and tools, etc. So we will be right back with a real amazing conversation with my good friend, Catherine. And we'll be right back here after this short video.
Hey guys, my name is TJ.
I'm Callie Braithwaite.
My name's Alex Mustatea.
Hello, my name is Catherine O'Neill.
My name is Alex Solga.
I had to go out west, 2 to 3 months at a time and leave my family here.
Real estate was always the end game to get me out of the 9-to-5 rat race.
I've always had an interest in entrepreneurship.
An old boss of mine mentioned her 5 real estate investment properties.
From 2012 to 2017, I had an absolute horrible experience. I was the hardest working guy I knew, and I was the brokest guy I knew.
And that's when I started flipping and failing and stuff, and then I just get frustrated because the time, it wasn't fast enough.
Discovered I was going in totally the wrong direction.
I made a promise to myself that I was going to be home with my family and watch them grow.
I knew there had to be a better way, and that's one of the big reasons why I joined Counsel.
Thought to myself, I've got to join this group. Joined Counsel, and I've been delighted ever since.
I learned about positive self-talk, mindset shift, how to actually build a business.
Like I've got 12 flips as of this year, 7 flips currently as I'm standing here. A business that's operating completely on its own. I have a lending company.
I was able to get into my first flip, and we were able to turn a $50,000 profit.
I'm learning things that I never knew before. Strategies were refined. I was able to build up confidence.
I believe that we can all win together. That's my preferred way of being.
It's awesome helping people because as much as I want to build my real estate portfolio, I love inspiring and helping people.
All right, welcome back, friends. We're having an amazing conversation here today with people that are in our council mastermind, which is a business development group for real estate investors here in Canada, proudly Canadian owned and operated. We're here helping people grow. There's currently just over 40 people in the mastermind, and we've been in business here for just under 2 years. And we're so excited to help bring quality people into this amazing group. The next person I want to highlight, a council champion, is truly a person that I have a lot of respect for. It's a person who initially sat in the back of the room and crossed hands and said, well, what is this crazy guy doing with this crazy web thing and the hair and the whatever? We held, in case you didn't know, we held a national event back in March of last year, just around the time that the pandemic hit. And we had a national event where, we had almost 2% of Canadians see our content. And a lot of people came to our environment because of that national event. And my next guest was one of them. And we've had a very interesting journey. And this is one of the person I have a lot of respect for, because sometimes a zebra can't change their stripes or chooses not to. Other time, a zebra does change their stripes. And other times, zebras find their stripes. So there's always opportunities for people to shift, to adapt, and to mold to the environments around them. Before we jump into that real quick, if you'd like to connect with us, really interested in having a conversation with you guys, I'd like to actually put you on a call with some of the people that are on today. So I'd actually like to get you on a call with some of our council champions to put you on a one-on-one conversation where you can chat with them. And the best way to do that is for you to go ahead and take a picture of this QR code and book a call directly with us to have a conversation around mentorship, to have a conversation around any individual person here. We'd love to connect you. We believe in the power of networking, the power of connecting people. As you can tell, we have some common themes today. Number one, everybody in our environment believes in working together for the greater good. There's more money, there's more opportunity through alignment and collaboration, not through being a lone wolf grinder. That is not the answer. And number two, we live in an area of abundance. There's plenty of business for all of us. We do not live in scarcity. So today, in the next hour, we're going to give out $1,000 cash to one person who is signed up for a complimentary phone call with us. So click the link here within the comment section or go ahead and grab the QR code. All right, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on somebody I have a tremendous respect for. Welcome, my good friend. Welcome, my good ally, Catherine, to the call. Catherine O'Neill, she started with us a while ago, and she's got a brilliant mind, and she's had an amazing career here as an engineer, and now she's in the private loan space, some private investment space, and she's really working with different categories of people, including women in real estate and people who are perhaps approaching a second career or a third career or otherwise just looking for ways to make money in real estate and grow their wealth. So everybody, welcome to the table, Catherine O'Neill.
Hello, Ben. Good to talk to you.
Hello, Catherine, and welcome. So nice having you here on this conversation. We've had a pretty cool day. We've had a lot of people from council here with us, and we've had some good dialogue. I know you and I were hanging out last weekend and sketching out new plans here for lending and et cetera. I want to get into all of that stuff, including your background. What I'd love to do is, could you give us a little bit of context? Before you joined council in this community, what were you doing in life?
I followed a very traditional path. My parents grew up during the Depression. They were poor. So they passed on their thinking that you had to be very careful with money. So I knew I needed to have a good degree and a good job. So I became an engineer. My brother became a mathematician. My dad was an engineer. And I think that math gene sort of passed its way through. I got a job right out of school at Procter & Gamble, which was, again, a good job. And I worked there for 30 years because I was working towards getting a pension because that's what I knew what to do. During that time, I saved money very diligently. We paid off our house in 10 years. I was putting money in RSPs because as an employee, that's the only place you can reduce your income, your taxable income. Save money, put it aside into a stock portfolio. And in 2015, I had an opportunity to leave. And I thought that was good. I wanted to work for myself because I wanted to have more of a choice of the people I worked with and the projects I worked on. Thought I was going to do consulting, did some consulting, and then met with my boss for lunch when she told me about her 5 investment properties. And I was just like, what? Real people can do that? I had no idea. And then I began to ask around, found all kinds of people had investment properties, 1, 2. And I thought, well, I can do that too. So sure enough, went out, bought some, and worked in the business. I went to Costco. I schlepped the laminate back and forth to save a couple of bucks. I've told you that I was also cleaning carpets because one of the places I bought the carpet in the basement was disgusting. And I was in there shampooing the carpet. And it truly, at that point, I thought to myself, wow, I used to lead a team of 7 people. We used to have a $10 million budget, but now I work for myself, so I get to clean carpets. I guess that's what being a business owner is, because I did not know otherwise. And I really thought, okay, that's what it is. I began to go to real estate meetups and learned a lot more. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as so many people did, and realized I wanted to change strategies because I didn't have any cash flow. So ended up going to a real estate meetup with a guy who was really well-spoken and talked about a strategy that I really was interested in. He also had a construction company. So I ended up buying a property in Windsor from him and getting a construction contract with him to be able to do the big renovation. And things dragged on and dragged on. And despite what I tried to do, found out after about 6 months that he was going bankrupt along with my deposit. So I'm looking at all this real estate stuff saying, yeah, it's pretty scammy, right? That's the type of thing. And so when I found CashFlow Tribe, I was of the mindset that, you know what, I've been scammed. I know how this stuff goes, but I was blown away because of the content, because of the positive attitude, because of the talk about mindset, like just stuff I'd never heard before. And it exceeded my expectations. And then there was an opportunity to be able to join council. I, of course, did not, with the first one, turned it down because I was like, no, this is still a scam. And then people came back after that weekend event and were raving, just raving. And I'm like, well, shoot, darn. And so I went to the next one and I was really impressed. What was I impressed with? They talked about having a personal plan. And again, I was in a different spot than a lot of the people your guests who have been on today, because I had worked for 30 years. I had assets. I had my house. I had my stock portfolio. I was not the same as everybody else that was having $500 in the bank like TJ. That I had $500 in my wallet. So yeah, I was in a different spot. But also because the CashFlow Tribe training was exceeding my expectations, I thought I'm going to go for it. But also I would say I was having a mindset shift, and I didn't think that I needed to change my mindset because I'm positive and I'm a creative problem solver. But I began to realize that there was another option other than trying to save yourself to wealth, but was actually to grow your revenue. I'd never heard about that before. These were concepts that were not part of an engineering background or an employee conversation. And that got me thinking. And so I also began to realize, because up until then, again, with my parents who they painted their own house, they did their own grass, you never paid for anything that you could do. But I've been listening to people say, if you pay for expertise, you get there faster. You avoid the problems that I was going through because you've got somebody who's been there first. But if you expect them to just give that away, then you are undervaluing it. And I thought, yeah, I can see that now. I can see that in a way. And so I said, yes, I will pay for training. I will pay for the mentorship. And also simultaneously, because I don't know, being in your 50s, I had gained 20 pounds over like the previous 10 years and had tried and failed with trying to lose weight and get healthier. So simultaneously, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hire a health coach and I'm going to also try and improve my personal health, because as I was learning, your business isn't just what you bring to it upstairs, but it's also your whole self. If you're healthier, if you can withstand and be resilient, then your business is you. It can be more resilient. And so I ended up like buying into a health coach as well, which really is not me, but I've just been so pleased with things. So yeah, I joined council to be able to accelerate my progress, and I I am just so grateful that I was able to find you guys and that I was open enough to be able to take a chance after maybe, being disappointed with some of the other options that have been out there. So that's where I am.
And I got so much to unpack there because that's just an awesome story. And kind of like Allison's too, like she had a career and, and had a home and some equity and stuff. And, a lot of the times we're just so close to our lives that we can't see it from outside of a perspective and go, hey, there's a lot of Canadians right now who have their house has doubled in the last 4 years and they have equity and they're like, I don't know what to do with it. Well, maybe that's where it's would produce a really high ROI for you to be able to tap and use that equity. So I want to draw an interesting parallel, Catherine, because, again, there's a lot here I want to kind of touch on. So we all read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? We read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We go, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in my mind, I go, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. I read it cover to cover. No, you didn't. You observed it. Because had you read it and actually followed the logic of Rich Dad versus Poor Dad, we wouldn't go through life in this way. And I'm just going to draw a quick parallel. So you're in business, right? You're an engineer, you're in business, you've got a team of people under you, and you're making money, you're seeing business happen before your eyes every single day. But on the home front, we're trying to save. We're not doing business. We're saving our way. We buy one property. We're doing the carpet cleaning. We're doing this over here. But we go to business and our work goes revenue, make more revenue, have this thing, create a budget and do this and do this and do this. And at home, we go, oh, in my business, though, revenue doesn't matter. In my business, I'll just do it myself. In my business, I'll save my way to success until you realize that, like, wait a minute, I don't have enough time left to save my way to the level of success that I want to get to because I'm not actually applying what I learned from Rich Dad. I'm not applying what I'm learning at work. I'm actually doing a whole different thing over here. So what I noticed with you specifically was coming into here, I noticed the level of refreshment for you, like, oh, wow, this is business. I know business. I just have to do it here. Can you maybe speak to that of like the difference in our focus on business versus like real estate investing?
Yeah, very true. Because you're right. I had done business building, brand building in my job, and so learned great things. And so when we're talking about things and I'm thinking about applying them, it's not new knowledge for me. It is saying like, oh, this, I can see how we would do this. But I think one of the differences is that when you work in a big corporation, your impact is reduced. Whether you do really well or very poorly, it gets all mixed out with the wash. But when it's your own, it hits you straight in the face. And maybe therefore that breeds some urgency because you're following a long process in a corporation, but with you can do it as fast or as slow as you want to be able to do it. And at one point when we were talking, I remember thinking, my parents gave me really good stories about how they saved money, about how they reduced the bottom line, about how they never bought anything on time. But they never gave me any stories about improving revenue, how you would do that. And I realized I'm going to have to be that person who does that story, who tells my children that story about how I improved revenue, because I'm the first one in my family. Like, when people say I've had a history of entrepreneurialism or I want to be an entrepreneur, that wasn't me. That was not. I've come to this, I don't know why, pretty late in life, but it's really cool. And you touched on sort of the equity that so many of us have buried in our backyards, meaning you paid off your house because you were supposed to do that. And if you're in Southern Ontario, it's appreciated. Maybe you worked for a good company. And so again, you have a bunch of RSPs because that was the only way to reduce your taxes. And so you're sitting on a chunk there. Maybe you've got a vacation or a cottage property, and maybe you've paid that off. And I thought, well, that's the stop, period. There is no more. To learn through CashFlow Tribe and you guys in particular, that you could take that and be able to not lose it, but sort of borrow it from yourself at very low interest rates with the bank, and then lend it out secured against other properties. My mind is blown. And I'm like, why didn't I hear about this earlier? And so, yeah, it's such a great idea to be able to get a second or third stream of income, and to know that you could do that after you've worked so hard for so long. I think it's great. I hope more people hear about it. I intend to tell more people about it because I think it's just so great with, it's a wonderful opportunity for so many mature Canadians.
And that's such a great way of putting it. And I know that, sometimes people in a full career or mature Canadians who have equity and resources, they go to like this, I'm going to maybe burr one house at a time. And like they're continuing the same cycle that build a lot of equity, but like low cash flow. So I'm going to keep saving today for this tomorrow that maybe will come, maybe won't come here early enough for you to actually materialize on what you've built here in equity. And I know you got some cool stuff. Like I know you're about to go and empower a whole bunch of women and, mature Canadians who already have some equity and they just don't understand their options. Yep. Can you, again, you mentioned slap in the face, but to go and do a career and, seemingly go like, I've done well with money. I've saved money. I have equity. I've done all these things. But then for some young punk 35-year-old to go, you're sitting on a mountain of debt. Why are you doing nothing with it? What does that look like to somebody? Like, is it, listen, you punk, you don't know what you're talking about. How does somebody deal with that? Is it, and I'm just curious.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially when there are a lot of people out there who promise things, but then immediately you have to be able to, pay them money immediately. I'll give you an answer to something. Well, could we talk about it? Buy my book, buy my course, buy my thing. And that's what you typically see. So to hear and find a group where they believe that we can all win together, that we can all share with one another, that by sharing things, then we all get better together. A rising tide floats all boats. That was really heartening to me. And it was a surprise coming from the corporate world where there was a lot of scarcity, only one promotion spot, only one bonus, only one this. And so it wasn't really dog eat dog, but there was a little bit of that. And then I saw that out when I went to the real estate meetups. So finding an organization where that was not the case and people work together, that was really appealing to me and has made me rethink and revise my view about what I want. And when people say to me like, well, I can't give them that lead, I'm like, why not? Why not give them that lead? Because there are lots of leads out there. This isn't the only one. And to be able to, I've done some loans with people in council. So I've loaned my private money out and making a small amount, a couple of $1,000s a month, which is not a lot, but this was my start to be able to prove that this would work. And that things would work as you expect. And they have been, and I have been so pleased with the relationships that I have within council. What a great group of people, so positive, so inspiring together. And then also to be able to get some income from where, again, I thought it was dead, but it actually can be alive. Who knew? So I'm really grateful, and I'm very happy that I've done that. And that is going to give me the lifestyle that I didn't even know I wanted, but I've been challenging myself thinking, what would I really like to do? I would like to travel 3 months of the year. I wouldn't have had the income to be able to do that. But yes, I do, because I can affect the assets that I have and be able to have them do more work for me than I ever realized. That's just so amazing to be able to think that I can have what I want and not lose anything, not have to diminish anything that I am spending. It's like just amazing.
Yeah, and there's a basic fundamental principle here of having your money work harder than you. And we don't really know what that looks like. We work hard. We're used to working hard. But when I go, if your money are soldiers, are they going into battle today and capturing other soldiers, or are they sitting at camp and getting fat? What's your money doing? And you go, well, my money over here is, invested making whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but do you not have equity? Well, yeah, I got $500,000 of equity. Well, what is that money doing? Well, and they went, I can't access that. No, you just told me they're fat. You told me all your money are fat and lazy and they're sitting over here. It's not that you can't, it's that you simply just don't know how. And once you finally figure out how to do that, and that's what we focus a lot on, you go, oh my God, I have all these resources here as a mature Canadian with a job and, investment and RSPs and all this stuff. I need to take what's going on over here and send this stuff to battle in a responsible way, because you recognize that you're making a 0% return on investment, and it's hard to call yourself an investor if you're making 0% return on equity. That's a hard realization, right?
Well, as I said, they don't teach it in school. They don't talk about it in general. So that was like one of the an unexpected bonus with counsel in particular. So CashFlow Tribe, not so much, because it's talked very much about real estate strategies, and that was great. Love that. Learned, very helpful. But with counsel in particular, besides the mindset, the business acumen, and then the creative financing, these are things that are so great to be able to hear. As you said, my soldiers were not fat and happy. They were asleep. They were sleeping all day long, right? While I was out working and cleaning the carpets. So to be able to wake them up and to have them go do something for me is amazing. And I really appreciate everything that counsel has done to be able to open my eyes, train me, give me information that I don't know where I would have gotten it otherwise.
It's interesting. So you're basically Snow White cleaning carpets and all the dwarfs are sleeping, because that's what you're saying, right? Like, instead of them helping you, the dwarfs are asleep. It's something TJ said before to me that it resonated. He says, you particularly are not an actual real estate coach. You're actually a money coach, because most of what you do is money is your business. Real estate happens to be a vehicle. And I think that was really smart of TJ to say, because I actually think that way. What are you doing with the resources you have to deploy them, to leverage them, to utilize them in a smart, professional, fiduciary way within the real estate vehicles that we have? And I think when you look at it that way, I think you and I would agree, Catherine, like, that is a very underserved thought. Like, not a lot of people understand the idea of leveraging and using what you've built in OPM, or they just look at, I want to buy a duplex, and they just don't know how to do that.
Well, I think that's maybe a consequence of most of the other real estate groups. We do BRRRRs, we do wholesales, we do rent to own. They're very mono technique type things, and they teach you that you if you're with us, then you find a property and BRRRR it. You don't do anything else. You can't do anything else. It's the property. So to realize that you begin to look at your properties and your money, and there are many exit strategies. There are many ways to make money. Some are faster, some are slower, some make more, some make less. But to understand that there's actually a schedule or a template you can use, that was new information for me. It was one of the key things that brought me to CashFlow Tribe. But it's just an indication of understanding that real estate is a vehicle for making money. It is just a vehicle, as you said, and it's a vehicle that does some things better, some things not so well, but a vehicle nonetheless. And so to put it in that category, as opposed to say it's the thing, the thing,
yeah,
right? And that thinking about, I can be a real estate investor, in which case I just focus on real estate, or I can be in business.
Yeah.
And in business, I think about the business principles. That's, as I said, the business acumen that I'm picking up, because I saw it before, but not as specifically executed.
Yeah. And I think we can do a podcast. You and I can talk about this for hours because there's so much content to unpack here. But guys, real estate, investing, business, marketing, sales, operations, and finance. A lot of people make the strategy. I'm a wholesaler. I'm a flipper. I'm a landlord. The strategy is not the asset. The house is not the asset. You, my friend, are the asset. You're either living in a level of awareness where you know how to move your resources around for maximum output, or you're not. Real simple. Like, if you don't know how to move your money around in an intentional way that produces a strong ROI, you're always going to be one of the banks, save 20% down, buy one property, burn 80% loan value, minuscule cash flow. And now you have some equity. And I'm an investor, but I got to do that for the next 15 years. Callie bought 10 years. It's not
well,
right.
And as you said, like, the market, it changes. So people are still talking a little bit like maybe the way it was 3 years ago. Oh, I'm going to get a house for cheap. Oh, wait, I can't get a house for cheap. Oh, wait, no one will sell me a house for cheap. Well, now what do I do? To be part of a group that thinks about it and understands that it's fluid, and that you need to use different strategies to be able to make money in different conditions. What if interest rates go up? What if they drop further? Like, all of this makes a difference. I have appreciated that it's a dynamic thing, as opposed to, here's a binder. Good luck with that. It's a cookie cutter approach. As I said, I was maybe the only one you talked to about, private lending right off the bat, because I had assets. That really impressed me, that there was a personalized approach. You said you were going to do it, but I was a little skeptical, and you did exactly what you said. And I appreciate that.
Listen, bring on
my plan.
Bring on the skeptics. If anybody in the audience is skeptical, click the link, book the call, talk to me personally, right? And I'm not going to push you into stuff, but be skeptical. It's okay. My point is, though, be skeptical about what you know. I know definitively that this is the thing. Not, I heard through the grapevine. I adopted it as belief, when really it's somebody's advice or opinion that's unfact checked. And now I'm going to go ahead and tell the world that this is the way it works. And you're absolutely right. I just think so many people waste years of their life living in the fog of what other people don't actually understand. I'm not here to sell you coaching, friends. I'm here to help you lift, raise your level of awareness so you can make conscious decisions about what you have options to in life, so you can determine. And I think you said a pivotal point. Success is not a white binder. You don't want a white binder that was written 4 years ago in a different market cycle. What you need is a customized approach based on your resources. Now, some people start with zero. That's okay. You don't need to have resources to use resources. If you don't believe me, read the book OPM by Robert Kiyosaki. But when you do have resources, then you can utilize them, and you can make things like, you can quit your job. You've had several people on this call have quit their job in months of starting, or within a year of starting. That's real life, friends. It's not guesswork. I made a goal 2 years ago. I call it the Humble 100, to help 100 people quit the rat race. Simple. All right. I'm at over 15 people. So I'm working towards getting people to quit the rat race. Catherine, you are a gem. Where is the best place people can connect with you with any questions, comments, or invest with you?
So the best place possibly is through Instagram, because properties are visual media. So I post pictures of the renovations I've done and other things. Also, you can find me on Facebook through Catherine O'Neill, and I'm on LinkedIn, Catherine O'Neill, and please feel free to reach out, because I would love to have a conversation with anybody to be able to help. Whatever I can do to help, I would love that, because I've been helped by so many people, in particular this group. I very much am very happy to be able to give back.
I love that. And thank you so much. And friends who are watching, feel free to go and tag our friends on social media. Go find Catherine on Instagram or Facebook. Send her a message saying, hello, I saw you when you were live. Really, really cool stuff. These are real people, real Canadians who are doing deals and growing every single day. Catherine, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate the conversation. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for everything that you do. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. All right, friends, we're coming into the home stretch, and we're about to announce the winner in just around a half an hour from now. So if you haven't had the chance, do the following, and we are watching, so we know. Number one, share the stream out while we have the last half an hour here. And if you share the stream out, we might do some additional prizes here. Go ahead on Facebook and share it out to friends and family so they can watch it. If you have not yet, you have half an hour left. Don't be that person the very last second who goes, I'll press the button now. Go ahead, click the QR code, book an amazing conversation. It's totally free like Lori did. Because Lori did it, and I see her in the comments, and I love to see so much engagement here. Click the link below. Go ahead and book a free conversation. I'd love to plug you in. We want to network with you, whether it's Alex Mustazia, whether it's our next guest, Sean, whether it's Catherine, whether it's Allison, whether it's Keith, whether it's TJ. We'd love to put you on a call with them, give you some dialogue with them. It's so awesome to talk to real Canadians getting real results. And I think you guys can all agree. So we'll be right back in 2 minutes or less. And we'll wrap up this amazing day of Council Champions.
Hey guys, my name is TJ.
I'm Callie Braithwaite.
My name's Alex Mustatea.
Hello, my name is Catherine O'Neill.
My name is Alex Solga.
I had to go out west, 2 to 3 months at a time and leave my family here.
Real estate was always the end game to get me out of the 9-to-5 rat race.
I've always had an interest in entrepreneurship.
An old boss of mine mentioned her 5 real estate investment properties.
From 2012 to 2017, I had an absolute horrible experience. I was the hardest working guy I knew, and I was the brokest guy I knew.
And that's when I started flipping and failing and stuff, and then I just get frustrated because the time, it wasn't fast enough.
Discovered I was going in totally the wrong direction.
I made a promise to myself that I was going to be home with my family and watch them grow.
I knew there had to be a better way, and that's one of the big reasons why I joined Council.
Thought to myself, I've got to join this group. Joined Council, and I've been delighted ever since.
I learned about positive self-talk, mindset shift, how to actually build a business.
Like I've got 12 flips as of this year, 7 flips currently as I'm standing here. A business that's operating completely on its own. I have a lending company.
I was able to get into my first flip, and we were able to turn a $50,000 profit.
I'm learning things that I never knew before. Strategies were refined. I was able to build up confidence.
I believe that we can all win together. That's my preferred way of being.
It's awesome helping people because as much as I want to build my real estate portfolio, I love inspiring and helping people.
All right, welcome back, friends and family. We're in the home stretch here. It's your boy, Ben Humble, and just been really cool to share the last few hours with you, highlighting some of our amazing friends, our council champions. These have been people that have got results. Listen, in the middle of a pandemic, it is so easy to complain. It's so easy to complain about what's not working in the political agenda, in the health agenda, in the every other agenda. And you know what? There's a small handful of Navy SEALs. These are people who have decided and are determined to living in abundance, to having high quality, productive conversations only, to focus on today and tomorrow, and to focus on their personal well-being, their health, their finances, their families, and the community around them. And I really encourage you, friends, if you're living in a world of scarcity and a level of depression and whatever, I understand it. However, you have fundamentally a choice to go ahead and not to live in abundance, to live in grace. Now you have one last chance. All right. And I appreciate those of you that are booked the call already. We're excited to get to know you and know who you are. Go ahead and click the QR code. This will be your last possible chance here today to win $1,000 cash. Literally, I'm holding this money in my hand as we speak. All you need to do is book a one-on-one conversation with our team to simply have a dialogue around what is mentorship. Is it valuable for you? So whether you're brand new to this journey and you don't know where to start, whether you're already an active investor and want a better approach, or whether you're like Catherine and you're really like finishing a career here and you've got some wealth and you've got some resources, but maybe there's a better way. Could you imagine if you're leaving hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands of dollars on the table because you simply don't know how to move your money around in an intelligent, modern way based on the information age tools or resources that we have? I would hate to see you losing money on ROI because you simply don't have the right information, tools, or accountability. So click the link here, book a call with us. Sarah's happy to jump on a call with you, and we will be announcing a winner in the next 20-25 minutes here about who's going to win $1,000, which is right in front of me. Yes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 250s. All right. Okay, let's move on to our last, but definitely not least, amazing friend of mine who is a council champion. I love this guy's story. Beautiful family, awesome kids, an incredibly supportive wife, and just like a bundle of joy. And I say that with all the love in my heart. But, he didn't always have it easy. He struggled with stuff. He struggled with, with the job and travel. And, much like Callie, he did have to travel a lot for work and leaving his wife to take care of the family. But I'm really encouraged a year later to see my good friend Sean grow and develop. Sean Gunther, known as the Moncton home buyer, is representing on the East Coast. And I'm so excited for Sean's growth. He's done an amazing job as a small business owner, really kick off in a new market that's just starting to turn and really starting to increase in value. And I'm going to let him tell his story, and really excited to kind of share this. Everybody, welcome to the table, my good friend Sean Gunther.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, man. Good to see you, brother. How are you?
Good. I can't complain. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. So this is great, man. This is great.
Yeah, Sean, I'm really happy you're here, brother, because, we've had a lot of dialogue, you and I, over the last year. You've done deals with a lot of people in council and in CashFlow Tribe. You're obviously in a very hot and desirable market, and I know that people are reaching out to you constantly to do business. I know you've really increased the number of deals you've done and really focused on the business element of this. And although I'm in Ontario, we don't get to see each other, face to face that often. You and I have connected. We actually have traveled together. We did an awesome Mexico trip, and recently you and I were in Dallas at conferences together, which, by the way, that's what happens when you're in the council. We rolled together as a pack. So Sean, what I'd like to do is get into your story a little bit and let people know who you are. You got your beautiful wife, Carly, always supportive of you and the business. Could you start us off, dude? Give us some context. What were you doing the years and months leading up to the decision to join council?
Well, that's quite the story. So we started out, and I reached out to you, I think, just prior to CashFlow Tribe even starting up, right? Like I was searching for something. I knew I wanted to get into real estate. I wasn't really sure how to go about it. I hadn't done any deals. I was just sitting there looking for information, and reached out to you, and because someone referred me from one of these American mentorship groups or whatever that I was in, and they didn't have any real information. So somebody took pity on me and referred me to you. And lucky for me, it was about a month or two before CashFlow Tribe was actually taking off. And as well as I do, I spent 6 months at the back of the room trying to figure it out, learning and trying to put things together. And I just wasn't really happening for me. I got to the point where I kind of outgrew the whole CashFlow Tribe thing. And you pushed me to join council, and I don't regret it whatsoever. Now, lucky for me, the way everything kind of went down with COVID and all that, I was only working kind of part-time. Really, we ended up going out for a couple months, and then we got shut down, and COVID didn't allow us to really go back. And thankfully for me, I had learned enough at that point that I started doing it seriously. And so we're a jump ahead a year from now, or two now, and I've done just about 20 deals, and I think about $175,000 in revenue. And I'm still going. I got 2 flips on the go, one that's up for sale now, and one that's closing in a week from now.
Dude, do you even hear the words coming out of your mouth, man?
No.
Yeah, 20 deals, 170 plus in revenue, 2 flips on the go, and you were that guy sitting in the back of the room for 6 months trying to piece together this stuff. Okay, I'm going to unpack some stuff here with you. All right, listen, CashFlow Tribe, great community. Our primary core value is community, meaning if you're in the free CashFlow Tribe community, great. If you're in the monthly recurring community, the $50, $60 a month community, great. A lot of tools, resources, whatever. But it's definitely not at a level where you can go one-on-one, build a massive business, and really kind of take that level. Sean, where were you where were you struggling to connect the dots here, and how did the one-on-one mentorship help you shift into action?
Wow. It's really hard to kind of pinpoint what exactly it was. I think the one-on-one mentorship just, it took me from here to here, like fast. Having that push and being in a group with like-minded people and having that kind of roadmap to push you forward, and having that accountability of the group, and has been priceless. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was really difficult decision for us at the times, considering, everything going on in life at the time, right? Like the with COVID and work shutting down and this and that and the other thing. There's so much negativity, and it made it really difficult to actually get that money to go into council and use that to push me forward. But in the end, it's become pretty much a drop in the bucket. And like, I can't thank you guys enough and I'm so glad that I did allow myself to be pushed into it, because like now my life is completely different than it was a year ago. Like, CashFlow Tribe and Council has changed my life. Like, it changed my life. I don't even know how to say that any other way, that it doesn't sound cliched or whatever, but it's true.
So maybe give us some examples. So it's 175 grand. That's the money. Great. That's 175 grand. What were you making at your job when you were out in the field?
It would depend. Like, when I first started, it was probably about 130, but by the end of it, it was more like 80. Right.
And tell people what you were doing for that income.
Yeah, I was working on a drilling rig out west. So we would go fly in and out. We'd do 21 days on, 10 days off. So and 2 of those days would be traveling. So I'd have roughly a week off a month, and flying across the country.
So you would go out there for roughly 3 weeks of the month, work, on the oil rig, and then come home for roughly 1 week of the month to see your family, and then all over again. And for how long did you do that for?
About 10 years, all in.
Wow. So you and Callie really do have a similar story. Like, both of you are 10 years kind of away from family, coming back and forth. Okay, I got to ask you this question. At 100 grand a year, 130 grand a year, but 3 weeks away from family, does the money make up for it?
No. But I mean, as myself, I was never satisfied with just the average, just getting by. It was never good enough for me. So it was always, that was something that I could do. Something that I knew I could do. Right. So, and also during that and realizing, like, I think my major realization when I was out there was, a guy that was there for 30 years and had been doing this job for 30 years was doing a entry-level job just to get by. So after 30 years, this guy was still in the same spot, as I was a couple of years before, really. And it was just like, that was proof enough that I needed, that there was no real future there. So it was definitely time to start, investing in myself and, creating another way.
Man, so 30 years, and I'm sure that resonates with a lot of people. Like, I know Windsor's a blue-collar town. When out west started booming, a lot of people left Windsor and went out west, and all that. And so you're going from here, then you're doing this. Walk us through, dude. You get into council, right? I'm looking at you going, Sean, there's a limited window of opportunity. Just like I'm talking to most people, like, oh, the market's too hot. That's a good thing. Because what most people don't realize is that the average investor, 80, 90% of the people who are effectively like, real estate sheep, they just, the market's too hot, there's too much scarcity, the realtors are greedy, I can't find a deal, I can't get money, it's the same thing. And I told you, be in this other category of people that just create the opportunity through conversations, right? So tell us, what did you do? Maybe give us some tactical things. How did you get started? What were the first couple months like of personal mentorship? I know it wasn't all roses. Like, you obviously went through some stuff. Give us a sense of that. Like, what's the grind like? What's the go like to start getting it going off the ground?
Well, definitely you have to learn a few things, right? So, getting the marketing going, and then, actually following up and dealing with the leads. Like, you have to have the conversations. You have to learn, the market itself, and kind of get everything moving from there. I've found that, the more I've gone slow, like cautious that I've been moving forward, the more detrimental that's been. So like now I'm getting to the point where we're doing multiple flyer campaigns a month, tens of thousands of flyers, and kind of, creating more and more buzz to create the business or lead generation to keep things going. But yeah, like just starting off, like I did bandit signs, then I did newspaper ads, and I slowly built my way up, trying to do everything for free and for cheap as possible. And it just didn't pan out until I started actually investing in myself and going to all the courses and learning all the different strategies and learning different things and going from there, right? Like it's to pinpoint any specific thing. Like if somebody wanted to ask me specific questions on how I got here, then I can answer those. But to say, hey, like, this thing, that thing, like it doesn't really work.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question, man. A lot of people
Sure.
get tripped up on strategy, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, you guys are big on wholesale. Cashflow Tribe only does wholesaling. I heard this 1,000 times. The reason is I wrote a book on wholesaling. So the thinking is, wow, this is all you guys do. When meanwhile, raised $35 million. I have a private lending business, a flipping business, there's a lot more that I didn't write a book about, unfortunately. And maybe I got to write more books. I don't know. Sean, I want to ask you, man, people get tripped up on wholesaling, flipping, landlording, all this stuff. And you've done your gamut of things. Maybe get a little bit tactical with us. In your business, right? How do you process wholesaling, flipping? How do you decide? Maybe you can teach people a little bit. Is the strategy like that fixed, or is it more flexible pending the opportunity in front of you? Just curious your thoughts on that, man.
Yeah, well, like when we first began, we didn't really have anything to, we didn't have money to invest so much. So we were, focused on wholesaling mainly. But now we've come to the business has kind of matured a little bit now. And now we're looking at it as more of a lead generation, property acquisition situation. And depending on different deals that come through the door and what the deal entails and what the possible exits are, considering what renovation costs are going to be, or what are the different exits or what are the best exits for the property, we'll determine what we're going to do with it. So I'll wholesale it. I've also JV'd on flips as well, or wholesales. And, we are looking into doing more buy and holds here coming down the road. The one we're closing on next week is actually going to be a student rental buy and hold. So we are just looking at the opportunity of each deal and, what level our business is at to handle that deal. And we'll determine from there what we're going to, disposition it as.
So you've got more, and I know why I'm asking this question, because we have a very uncomplicated way of figuring out deal flow and exit strategies. And we use what we call the active to passive funnel, the decision matrix in our business. And you kind of adopted that as well. Mm-hmm. Sean, do people complicate this, man? Do they make it harder than it has to be?
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's all it's you getting over yourself and figuring out, like, if you allow all these things to become a stress point, you're going to get in your own way, right? It's an easy, figuring it out, kind of going through the different matrix, like you say, in your hop theory and stuff like that as well, right? There's so much to learn that I think sometimes it can be overwhelming, and people allow that to overcomplicate things. But definitely, like it's. Oh, sorry over there. I got text messages coming through. But I had to get out of my own way in order to make this happen, right? Like it had to be me kind of allowing to trust the process and kind of listening to the mentors and stuff like that, because it's scary when you start off. You don't know what you don't know. And I mean, it's so hard to take that leap at times, but if you get involved with the group, trust the process, allow yourself to be pushed, and, have the courage to take those steps, and I promise you won't regret it. Like most of the deals that I do now are through counsel, through CashFlow Tribe, through the network that we've built with everybody here. I can't imagine not being in this group, and I can't imagine how difficult it is for people that are not in a mastermind, because it's taken. I couldn't even say how much time it's saved me over me trying to slug it out and lone wolf it for this entire time. Like having this group of supportive people has just kind of has changed everything. It's changed the game. Like if you're out there struggling and kind of allowing the stress to kind of take you over, you know what I mean? You need to get a supportive group that knows what they're doing and get them behind you, and you'll push through those ceilings so quickly you won't even know how it like. And I'm just gonna tell a story here. My wife and I we went on a date night like a couple weeks ago, and we went to the drive-in, and it was like that was one of the first times like since we began that I actually stopped and took a breath, and it was like all of a sudden I just came to the realization like, hey, I'm a real estate investor now. Like this entire time I've just been putting in the work, and like, you know, trying so hard to get to this point. Now that I'm actually here, it was almost surreal to even just stop and think about it. And it's a year later. Like it's crazy.
Wow. Dude, I love that. I think that's amazing. Here's kind of a tough question. I don't have an answer, but I want your answer. So you sat in the back of the room for 6 months. I've seen this dynamic. Some people come to CashFlow Tribe, they're kind of figuring things out, you know, and you know they'll get a free account, which is great. Grab a free account, connect with over 3,500 people in that group, or they'll join our our monthly membership, and there's several hundred people in that group getting training and other things, events and stuff that we do. And sometimes somebody needs to sit there for a few months. I don't know what they're doing, Sean. They're picking their nose, they're consuming content, they're asking themselves questions, or they're just like, I'm too busy to take it seriously, so I'm just going to kind of poke in and poke out. Sean, my question is, do you regret sitting there for 6 months, or was it necessary to help you make that transition? And what finally pushed you over? I'm just curious on that.
Well, I'm not sure. Like I would say now, knowing what I know now, like maybe I needed that time because I didn't know enough about it to that I felt confident investing in myself. But after spending that much time and trying to do it for free, I got to the point where it was not serving me anymore, because it was the same questions being asked over and over again. I knew I needed a higher level of answers. I knew I needed faster answers. I knew I needed a group of people that knew those answers. So when I was sitting there for 6 months, I think that was a lot of my scarcity as well. I was so convinced that, you know what I mean, I needed to know more. I needed to wait because I needed to have more information. But I think now, if I could have moved forward before I had all that information. So yes, I think that I should have committed quicker, but I also don't regret it because it got me to where I am today.
Yeah, that's good. And I appreciate the sincerity on that. And sometimes it's not the right time for people. Like they got I find when people have a lot of maybe personal drama or personal baggage, and like, I want mentorship. And it's like, well, you need to see a counselor and a therapist and a real estate mentor or business mentor, right? Because you're fighting a lot of different battles. Sean, what's one of the things maybe you fought as like a mental battle that you're maybe still working through, or you feel like you've overcome?
Well, scarcity for sure. Like, being in the oil field for so long, yeah, we made good money, but it was feast and famine out there. You know what I mean? Some years were really good. Some years were really bad. Like I remember one year I only worked 4 months of the whole year, like actually at the job. Otherwise I was doing, kind of business or whatever at home and, try to get by. But like there was always a scarcity involved, like around money, right? So there was a lot of scarcity in me about how can I do these deals without money? Like I don't have this much money to do this. I don't have the money to do that, blah, 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 blah. So I allowed that to slow me down. I allowed that to stop me. But once I got into the group and like started, basically drinking the Kool-Aid and understanding it, that changed everything. Like now I don't worry about it. Like money's the furthest thing from my mind when I'm talking about going to do a deal, because I know that it takes a couple conversations and I'm going to have that money there, whether it's through a JV or borrowing from someone, or just kind of dealing with it myself. But I have no concerns, no scarcity around that at all anymore. So I think that's a huge thing, and I think that's one of the major things that are stopping people, is because they think they have to be the ones with the money in order to do it. But it's just like you said, like there's different resources that you can use that are valuable. You know what I mean? You can use your time. You can use your your active strategy. You have other things. You have houses with assets with equity and things like that you can use as well. So there's lots and lots of like different qualities that you could possess that make you valuable within a deal. And thinking that having the money or having to have the money is the only way to get one done it's just false.
Well, a lot of people, man, they worship money. They put money on the pedestal. The thing we're trying to get is the thing that we're the most afraid of. And people don't do is this. You've been paid 20 or 30 bucks an hour your whole life, and you think that's all you're worth. And somebody lied to you, sister. Somebody lied to you. That's bullshit. You're not worth 20 bucks an hour. You are inherently so much more valuable than that. But you got to stake that claim. When you left the oil thing, regardless of how much you made, you're like, now I'm an opportunist. I'll get paid based on my performance, not based on what somebody decides my time is worth. Highway robbery. So, I'm proud of you for seeing that realization. And once you decide to eat what you kill, what's amazing is that then you start to fight against the scarcity, because the reason you're living in scarcity is you've been conditioned to believe you're only worth this. Your value is this small. So when you see something $10,000 deal, you go, oh my God, there can't be that many of those, because me and mine, people like me, are only worth 30 bucks an hour. That's bullshit. Somebody's lying to you. There's plenty of deals. The truth is you're not engaging in the activity that's a $10,000 an hour activity. You're engaging in an activity that pays you 30 bucks and pays your boss 60 bucks per hour. So that's the key difference here, is we have to recognize opportunities aren't the problem. It's people who recognize that they're valuable enough and deserving enough of those opportunities. Give me as we conclude here, give me the biggest deal and the smallest deal. Give me some context of like how much I made on one deal versus how much I made on another one. Just for interesting context.
All right. Well, I had one deal where the wholesale fee was about $40,000. And then I had another deal that one of the wholesale fees was about 7,000. So 7,000 was the lowest that I've gotten so far. I know other people have gotten, some less than that, right? But it's not about the amount, I'd say for sure. But I mean, it's, $40,000. That was a pretty good one. That is a life changer, I think, when you look at it from that perspective. I know people that make less than that in a year.
And the point I'm trying to make here is like, did you you found an opportunity? Did you really work that much harder for the 40 versus the 7?
Only at the start, you know what I mean? And like the getting going and starting off, it took me roughly about 6 months before I got my first deal. But after that, like after improving the concept, and it just took off from there. Like it was like one deal and then 2 deals, and then 5 deals, and quickly after that, right? And I think it's just the ignorance up until that point how did you say it one time? It was luck is skill over time. Is that the saying?
Luck equals opportunity. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, opportunity equals skill plus chance. Yeah.
Skill plus chance. That's what yeah. So I mean, it was just over time of continuing, and I think a lot of people's problems, they give up too soon. You know what I mean? And like just taking that time and realizing that if you continue to put in the work, you're just basically putting in the reps and learning how to get this done. And as long as you don't give up, I think that you'll have the opportunity to continue to do better deals, more deals.
Sean, you're an encouragement. Wife Carly, you guys both are just such awesome people. We're really excited for your growth and your maturity as a business owner and as a person. Last question. other than all the other personal stuff, getting a chance to work from home and be with your family and change your mindset, what's the financial return? Do you have an approximate ROI on your mentorship over the last year or so?
If you include the intangibles of it,
Without just go with the finance, because the
just
intangibles are amazing. Just the
yeah,
sheer dollars.
yeah, I'd have to say pretty damn close to 10x also. I can't even put a price on it, because to me it's with the intangibles with it and all that, it's priceless.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Putting a number on it, I think is ignorant. It's just trying to say 10x, 10x. I'd say 100x. My life has changed. Yeah, it's completely. I'm practically unrecognizable from who I was a year and a half ago.
Dude, I love that. I love that. Sean, thank you so much, man, for being willing to share with us, being able to have dialogue. Where can people get a hold of you, buddy?
Yeah, anybody can get in touch with me here on Facebook, just under my name, Sean Gunther. Also, we have a website if you want to get in touch with us, www.monctonhomebuyers.com. You can reach us on Instagram at the Moncton Homebuyer. And yeah, if you want to give us a shout here, also you can reach the business phone at 506-800-4289. And yeah, happy to help, happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. And yeah, reach out. I'd love to hear from you.
I love it, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you and Carly. Have an amazing day. And folks, reach out to Sean. Do some business with him. Support him. Encourage him. Okay, well, listen. We're at the end of our day. If you haven't had a chance to, or you were lazy, either or, you literally have 30 seconds to click a picture of the QR code for a chance to win $1,000, which we're announcing very, very shortly here in the next couple seconds. Click the link right now. Book a free complimentary call with our team to just have a dialogue and see exactly where we can help you. And it may just be as much as giving you some direction. It may be as much as giving you some free resources. It may be moving you into a mentorship program. It may be in connecting you with some of our existing folks. I believe in this. Give, and we'll be fine. I believe there's a Jim Rohn quote that says, if you help enough other people get what they want, you will eventually get what you want. And what I want is large national impact. I want to help change the game for Canadians. I want to help remove the bullshit, the noise, the nonsense, the fears, the scarcities, and the old stinking thinking about how this business works. Because, friends, I have purchased 300 properties. I have raised $35 million of non-bank financing in the last 15 years. I'm telling you, you can do this. All you need to do, step up to the plate, have a conversation, and just look at your options. So click the link right now for a chance to win $1,000. So here we go. All right, the team is saying we got to go. We're 6 minutes over. We're wrapping this show up. Thank you for hanging out with us for the last almost 5 hours that we've been live. I have had 3 coffees. So if you're wondering where I get my energy, purpose and coffee. All right, here we go. So the team is going to drum roll and get us. Let me get the drum roll going. The team is going to tell me who is the winner of the $1,000 cash in my hand. We're about to give this out. The team's going to throw it. Let's go, team. Who booked the call? Who's going to get this money? Who are we sending an e-transfer to? Let me see if I can get it on the screen. Team, who is it? Let me see. I got some comments blowing up. I got people saying, me, hit me. Okay, well, you better have booked that call. Team, show me on the screen who is the winner of the $1,000. Lori Matson, you are the winner of $1,000. Congratulations, my friend, for winning $1,000 cash here on the Council Champions Day Live. Wow, that is amazing. This probably is one of the highest return on time for you watching television, getting some content. Congratulations, my friend. Real proof. We're going to send you out $1,000 right now on an e-transfer. Make sure you got this cash. Or if you're in the Kitchener Waterloo area, we'll seriously come and run this to your house right now. Make sure you have your money. Congratulations, Lori. Really awesome. Some money out. Again, living in abundance, friends. We know when we give it back out, we help enough people. It comes back to everybody. So, Lori, amazing. Congratulations, girl. So excited to get a chance to connect with you. Folks, this is real life. This is how we do this. The team is telling me, Lori, amazing. Congrats. The team is telling me I have one more giveaway. Team, throw it up on the board here. Tell me what's going on here. It looks as though we have a free a private mentorship with yours truly. And they're going to throw it up on the board here. They're giving away prizes behind the scenes. I don't even know. Lori, you're in Toronto. Lori, you drive to Kitchener. I will personally hand you the $1,000. I will be in Kitchener the rest of the night. I will give you the address, and maybe we can shoot a quick video. So, Lori, if you can get down at Kitchener, hit us up, Lori. I think it'd be really cool to get you that money. Congratulations, Tad. Here we go. Tad, welcome. Congratulations, man. We're going to give you a 30-minute free mentorship call with myself. We're going to deep dive into your business, into your mindset, and I'm going to do with you what I do with all the other council members on a regular basis. So, Tad, congratulations, brother. Appreciate you so much, and looking forward to connecting with you and having an honest, open dialogue. Congratulations. Guys, this is it. We're totally wrapped up. I think there's a chance Lori jumping in her car and driving all the way down here. Tad Perry, I think, Tad Perry, you live out west, brother. I don't know if you're driving in your car, but if you are, there you go. Lori, are we going to shoot a quick video with me handing you $1,000 tonight? Guys, part of the reason why I'm in Kitchener today is because I'm like, I wonder how many people are in the GTA area that might be on this live stream. And I wasn't planning this, but Lori, Toronto, you're a stone's throw away, maybe some traffic, I don't know. Come over. Let's hook her up. Sarah, can we hook up Lori in person? She says, yep. Okay. I hope you guys had an amazing time with me. I had a great time hanging out with you, and really encourage you folks, get plugged in with us, cashflowtribe.com, amazing resource. And if you want more information on the council, just go to Facebook, go to the council, Instagram, the council, or get a hold of me at Ben Humble CEO on Instagram. You have the pleasure. Thank you for hanging with us. You guys have a great night. God bless every single one of you. And we'll see you guys at the next one. Take care.